I truly do not think there's anything any more delicious or comforting than a nice, steaming, warm, delicious bowl of basmati rice. If you've ever wanted to perfect your own rice, and so many of you write to me about this, watch this video. I'm going to show you exactly how I make it at home. The key to cumin rice is going to be whole cumin seeds, as well as a variety of spices, including cinnamon stick, cloves, and black cardamom pods. Black cardamom is very different than green cardamom. You do not want to use them as a replacement for each other. They just have very different taste profiles, but it is the key element that will take your rice from pretty good to restaurant quality delicious. Another absolutely key element is going to be the type of rice that you use. You want to buy basmati rice grown in India. That is the longest grained, just beautiful, really high quality rice that you can purchase when it comes to basmati rice. Basmati in Sanskrit means fragrant, and it is just key to use really good quality rice coming from India. The ones that are coming from other locations, especially California, the United States, tend to cook up a little bit mushy, so you have to play around with them a little bit and use a little bit less water, I find. But really the ones that we use in our homes are going to be the ones that are coming out of India, grown in India. So it is 1 portion of rice, white rice, to 2 portions of water to get the perfect combination of rice and water every time. We are now at my stovetop, and we've got a roomy pot, which is really important for making any kind of grains, rice, or legumes. So important because they absorb water and then expand. I've got my flame on. I've got a gas burner. You can do this on electric too. I've got it on medium high. And I'm actually making this in my Dutch oven, my Le Creuset. A lot of folks are so surprised when I show them. This is how I make basmati rice. You could do it in any pot, aluminum, whatever you've got, not a worry. But what I like about this is it really contains the heat. And when I turn the flame off, as I'm going to show you, I'm going to do in a bit, it will really cook your rice through beautifully. So a little bit of oil. This could be a ghee. It could be any vegetable oil. I happen to use a grapeseed oil. It's higher smoke point. I like that. And my pot is actually nice and warm. Here's a trick too on Le Creuset. When you touch the handles and they're warm, that's when you know the pot is ready for you to cook in. And my handles are warm. Let's go ahead and put in about a teaspoon of the cumin seed. You notice how it sizzles right away? Well, that's what you want, because that means that the essential oils are being pulled out. That's called tempering of your spices. Let's go ahead and put in my black cardamom pod and then a few cloves, because the cloves are truly what combine in terms of flavor to really give, oh, we got another black cardamom pod in there. That's okay. The cloves really give it that flavor, restaurant quality basmati every time. Now you're gonna notice as your spices absorb the oil and release their own essential oils, they start to swell up a little bit. That's called tempering. This is a process of blooming your spices. It's very critical to Indian cooking. It's called Tarka, T-A-R-K-A. The key here is you want to make sure that you don't overcook your spices. They should just bloom just about this amount. That's perfect. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the rice in. I just put my 2 cups of rice into my pot. Let's give it a stir. Let's put a little bit of salt in there just to get a little bit of more flavor. Not much, just a bit. cook a tiny bit. And now we'll go ahead and put that water in. So remember, whatever amount of rice you cook, you want to, if you're cooking white rice, double the water. So that's 2 cups. It is going to be 4 cups of water. And we're going to give it a stir. And we're going to wait for this to come to a boil. Now, as we wait, remember a couple key things is that we stirred it a few times, but rice, you do not want to stir it too often because it will get sticky, mushy, and it won't come out really well. So I always say one trick I have is truly leave your rice alone after you start cooking it. Do not touch it. It doesn't want to be touched. It wants to be left alone. So you're going to just go ahead and wait it out. I'm going to turn the flame up just a tiny bit because I know we have to just come to a boil here. And you notice how much room there is in the pot. I like that because it gives me enough room to let my product just grow and absorb the water. When you have a pot that's too small, then it kind of constrains your product. You're not able to do as much with it. Just doesn't have enough room to really expand, grow, and breathe. And that's really part of the trick to successful cooking, but especially with Indian cooking, because we do a lot of grains, rice, legumes, cooking a lot of those kind of items. And so we truly want to make sure that we have enough room in our pot. Also remember that at this part of the process, the lid is off. You're just kind of waiting for it to come to a slow rolling boil. And then we will take the next steps with it. So really most of your work is already finished. I mean, we've done the tarka. Look at those beautiful reddish brown cumin seeds in here. This is cumin rice, folks. We've got the black cardamom in there. We've got the cloves sitting in there. They just sit there and give you more and more flavor. And you can notice we're starting to see the bubbles at the top of this dish, at the top of the water. A lot of folks ask me if they can make jeera chawal in the rice cooker. Yes, of course you can. So repeat these starting steps in your rice cooker with the tarka. Put the rice in, put the water in, and then turn your rice cooker on and you'll be good to go. Now, why do I make it on the stovetop instead of in a rice cooker? Well, I used to have a rice cooker years back. It's just as simple to do it this way. And it's one less appliance for me. But if you prefer the rice cooker, then you should by all means do that. So it's come to a slow simmer boil, right? So we can see it starting to really kind of get there. You don't need it to be boiling too much, actually. This is just enough to really get your rice cooking beautifully. And what we're going to want to do now is we want to turn the heat down because we don't want it to overboil. There we go. So a very low heat, and then we want this lid to be on, but we want it slightly ajar so that the steam also does indeed release as you're cooking. So this is literally going to sit like this for about 8 to 10 minutes, and it'll cook up beautifully, but the thing is you've got to leave it alone. Don't keep opening the lid Do not look inside the pot. Every time you open it up, you release steam and you increase cook time. And I'm a culprit because I love opening the pot and looking inside and seeing what's going on. Trust me though, this is really going to work, and it will come out beautifully for you on the back end if you just kind of leave it alone. All right, so we're gonna let this sit for about 8 minutes and then we'll check back. All right, we are back. It's been about 8 minutes. I'd say almost 9 or 10 minutes. So don't hold me to that. Depends on your pot, depends on a lot of different things, depends on how much your rice soaked, all of it. So between 8 and 10 minutes. Let's take this lid off. And this is a really critical part of my rice process. Look at how beautiful this looks. It looks so cool. But the key is listen for a second. I'm going to stay quiet so you can listen. And what you're listening for is the boiling. You can hear a tiny bit of moisture still on the bottom of the pot. It's generally pretty dry up here, which is great. But now comes my lovely little trick. I love doing this. I turn the stove off completely, and then I put the lid on and I let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes, if you can even be that patient. I know we're gonna have to just try to be that patient. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, we are back, and this is the finale. It's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna take the lid off my pot. And remember too, on the Le Creuset, you always flip your lid because it's a rest for your spatula. A lot of folks don't realize this. And if your spatula has any kind of curry on it or anything that's kind of dripping off of it, it'll all collect here, and you can, when you put the lid back on the pot, it'll go right back into the pot. But we don't have that today. We've got just beautiful basmati rice. Look how it literally, almost like little soldiers, it stands up. That is from letting it sit with the flame off for about 4 to 5 minutes. It's really, really critical to give it that time. And look how beautifully it just kind of falls apart. Love, love, love a steaming scoop of delicious basmati rice, jeera chawal, cumin rice. Now, what do you do with all of the whole spices? Now, the cumin seed stays in there. It's super healthy for you. Keep it in. Eat it. You're not going to take the cumin seed out, but you can indeed take the black cardamom out. Even though it does add flavor to sit in your dish, and sometimes you just leave it in here, sometimes it can be a little bit too much flavor, a little too earthy and woody, so you just take it out and discard it. The cinnamon stick as well, so the cardamom pod is out. The cinnamon stick as well is going to be taken out because we don't want to chomp on that when we're eating. I will sometimes leave it in if I know that the guests that I'm going to serve understand that they are to take this out and throw it away. Now, if they don't, and it's a group of friends that are not necessarily Indian or used to eating Indian food, I will take this all out for them. The cloves, I like keeping the cloves in here. And actually, they tend to almost dissolve to a point where you don't even notice them, and they're super healthy for you. So I'll keep them in there, but it's up to you. If you want to fish in there and get them out, you can do that as well. All right, so there you go. That is basmati rice made in my home. This is the way I make it just about every other day or so. We love it. And I hope you will successfully make basmati rice in your own home as well. Send me your questions if you have any. You can find my recipe on my website, indianasapplepie.com. Remember to always subscribe there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is the same name, Indian as Apple Pie. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram as well, Indian as Apple Pie. But on Twitter, I am Indian Apple Pie. That was a little too long to put on Twitter. So you can find me there as well. I'm Anupi, and I hope you enjoyed this segment on basmati rice.